Hello, this is Aaron with iBoard Repair, and today I'm working on an RTX 3060. It's in here because it's artifacting. So I have it plugged into my computer already, and as you can see, I have these lines up on the top of the display here. And this usually indicates a bad VRAM module. So let's see if it does, fully boot up, and if it's giving us like error 43 or what exactly it will do. So I don't work on GPUs all that often, but I have done a little bit of work for them. So I'm not a complete expert on them, but I know enough that I can usually repair most problems. In this case, it would be nice to run the Matson mod software, but I'm just not sure if I can get it to work, honestly. So it looks like I have a really bad resolution on here, and if I go over to Device Manager, there's a good chance I won't have anything. I won't have drivers installed, I should say. Yeah, so no drivers were installed. Once it tries to install the drivers, I'm getting code 43. So code 43 on the RTX 3060, that's almost always going to be a bad VRAM module. So on these cards, usually the bad module is from like flexion near the PCIe fingers, so that's going to be like my first guesses, is that one of those modules has gone bad. I'm going to see if I can possibly get the Matson mod software to work. Yeah, this is actually what I was looking for. Let's see if I can get an error code out of Mats. I believe this tells me like the first memory bank is bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and take apart this card so we can access the memory banks. Okay, so I have the card out, and I got a little bit of results from Matson mods, but honestly I'm just not very good at using that Linux program. I don't know much about it, and I believe I was getting errors on the A module. I'm not sure which one, to tell you the truth. It could be either one of these ones, I believe. I do believe this one had been replaced before. Because I worked on this card. This is my card, and I think I replaced this one a long time ago. This card is like 9 months old at this point, and this had some damaged pads underneath it, but I think one of these two is also going to have some damaged pads underneath it. So not very good diagnosis, but I'm good with my hands. I could replace these easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace them rather than think too much about it. And one of them is probably going to fix the problem. And worst case scenario, I just keep trying until the problem's fixed. But I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. And let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, so my skills lie in being able to solder well. So let's just do what I know how to do and replace this. I know that one of these modules is bad. I know that if I replace the right one, I'll get rid of the artifacts. I don't know exactly which one is bad. And when that's the case, You know, you could either just give up, you could think all day, or you can just start working. And I'm just going to start working. So first I'll preheat the board a little bit. I am actually going to change the nozzle on here to the bigger one. This nozzle is too small. And that's great. Ow. Careful you don't touch your chip. That's great to see. I do have torn pads here. The torn pads are very much what could be my problem. I burnt myself with a chip because I put my pinky on it. But you can see right here, these pads are torn. So this was a problem, definitely. So that's great. I'm very happy to see that. That's why, like, even if you don't fully know what the problem is, as long as you're confident in your ability to not mess up other things, it's kind of okay to just try to see what happens. In this case, I could have spent a lot of time trying to get that software to work, a lot of time trying to diagnose this in another way, and I could have wasted a lot of time when I can clearly see this is where the problem was because those pads are pulled. So replacing this chip should fix the problem for me. I guess I was able to tell that I had errors in memory bank A using that software, so it did give me some kind of hint. So this card is actually my card. I've had this card for a long time now, like maybe 9 or 10 months. And when I first got this card, it was giving me these memory problems, and I just replaced this one because it was closest to the anchor, and I assumed that was likely going to be what the problem was. Once I replaced it, this card actually did work for like a month. However, it started crashing my mining rig. So knowing that, you know, I was able to get the Mats and Mods software to work a little bit, and knowing that I was getting errors on memory bank A, And knowing that I did have pulled pads on this one, this is the next closest one to the anchor, and this one also has pulled pads, and that was kind of my best guess at diagnosing this thing. So I did have some reason for doing what I did, but there was a lot of just assuming as well. But this should be easy to fix now. I already ordered more memory modules, so I have those here now. And now I just need to fix these pads and place the new chip, and it should be fine. So to clean this up, I'll just put a little bit of leaded solder onto my iron, and I'll reflow the pads here. I like to assist with my hot air when I'm doing this, just to kind of keep things at an even temperature. I use a low temperature on my hot air when I'm doing this, so not enough to actually heat anything on its own. So some people will take like a braid, a copper braid, and clean this up even more, but I find that's not really necessary. As long as you just flatten these pads, that's good enough to take the new chip. It doesn't really need to be perfectly every single one flat. Yeah, and those pads are acceptable to me. So I'm going to grab my new chip and just place it on there. It's been a while since I've seen where I put this, so let's see if I can actually find them. Really glad I found them. It took me actually a long time because, like I said, this card has been sitting here for a long time, like 9 months, and I ordered the RAM, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago, and then it's taken me a very long time to get around to fixing this card because as most of you know, I mainly work on iPhone data recovery here, and I've just been so busy with that I really haven't had a chance to get back to this. So that looks great. I'm not going to reball it again. It's already reballed. I could put leaded solder on there so it would go easier, but I think it'll be fine as it is. What I love about working on GPUs is this little box I have right around the module. It tells me where I need to place the chip exactly. On iPhones, we don't have that luxury. We just kind of have to guess and look at where we're at. I'll usually kind of just blast this with heat for a second until I feel like it is sticking into place. Then I'll take the tweezers away. So that may be into place, but I'm going to preheat the rest of this board a little bit as well. I'm going to bump up my hot air now. This is not nearly hot enough to melt this. On iPhone work, I work at about 100 degrees less than on GPUs because the boards are so much smaller. But that initial heat at that temperature made this chip a little bit sticky, so hopefully it won't blow away now. I already saw a little bit of movement on the chip, so I think it's already in place. I'll just give it a second longer. Yeah, it should be good. I also have some extra solder on that cap right there, and I saw that start to melt, so you can kind of use that as an indicator of when your chip's ready too. So if I put this on its side, let's see if I can see underneath it. I can't really see underneath it, but I'm fairly confident that is attached properly. So I'll just clean off some of this flux. And then I'll put the card back together, and then we can test it again on camera and see if it's working. I believe it's going to be working now. I have these cards because I was doing some crypto mining, and now it's kind of not a great time to fix this because Ethereum mining is ending in 2 days, basically. So it would have been a lot better had I fixed this months ago. I could have mined with it for a lot longer. Now at this point, I may still do some mining on some other coins. I may sell the card. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I'll sell it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to mine with it still at some point. We're probably going into some kind of like mining winter, but I don't think that like proof of work mining is completely dead yet. I think there will be, at least some form of it left over in the future. I think I'll probably mine Ergo, but I got to see what the profitability looks like in the next couple of months. these first few days after the merge, after the Ethereum merge to proof of stake, is going to be a little bit uncertain. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put this together. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I have the card put back together. It's not really the best practice to put it all the way back together before you know if it's working, because if it's not working, you have to take it back apart. But I'm trying to be optimistic about this one. I believe it's going to be working. If it's not, I'm sure it's the other A module. But I think it will work. Oh man, I still have artifacts. So that sucks. Okay, I'm going to take it back apart. I'll replace the other A module. If that one still doesn't work, then the very first module I replaced a long time ago, the B1, that was not really a known good module. I don't quite remember where I got that one from, so I could possibly still have to change that one. Okay, while I had been using the Matson Mods program the first time, I did get results, like I said, but I was a little bit unsure of what those results were saying to me. But a friend of mine did just message me back, and he did confirm that I was seeing an indication for bad A0 module, which is the VRAM that I replaced. So I'm going to run the program again, and I know what I did to get it working, so I can show you the process this time. And let's see if I'm still getting the same indication. So before I was getting errors on like A1 to A15, the bits A1 to A15, and that was indicating a bad A0 VRAM module. I'm wondering if I'm still going to get those same bad indications. If I am, then maybe this chip I'm using is bad. So first it's going to run like mats, but like it's not a real actual run of it. Like it doesn't actually count for whatever reason. The first one, you have to like tell it to do this. But one thing I'm noticing already is last time I had like artifacts on, even on this screen, which I'm not having now. So maybe, I don't know, maybe something's different now. What I can say for sure is that there was bad pads on that VRAM module that I replaced. So no matter what, that needed to be replaced. So now if I run this again, let's see if I'm getting those same bad bits. No, it's different now. So now I'm getting errors on B47, B40 to B47. Which is that first module that I had replaced. So maybe that other one is bad. And when I say the first module that I replaced, it wasn't on video. This was a long time ago, like I had referenced earlier. So I think I'm going to replace B1 now. And see if I get anything different. So again, I don't think I was wrong to replace this module because I was getting errors on A1 to A15, and that indicated the A0 module was bad. But now I'm getting errors that this one's bad. You know, I am seeing like a little chip right here too. I think, is that a chip or is that just flux? At some point when I was attaching the heatsink to this, I may have damaged this chip. So I'll just replace this guy again. Let's see if it works. And I don't want to confuse anyone. I keep saying again, but I replaced this one a long time ago, like maybe 10 months ago. And it was working for a little bit, and then it stopped working, and then I let this card sit forever. So I'll just replace this quickly, and let's see if that does the trick. And it doesn't look bad underneath, but there was that small chip on the top, so maybe that was causing my problem. So I do have a torn pad right here. I don't know if that just happened while I was scraping it, because normally I can cut these okay, but they may have been loose already, which may be what's causing my problem. So I'm going to have to build a jumper right there. I can show you guys that. So I just went ahead and double checked, and that's actually not attached to anything. So it's just a not connected pad. So it's okay that that one's missing. That's why there's no via in it, or any like trace of copper around anywhere. For example, like this has a little tail that you can tell goes to the side. There would be a little ripped one if it went to this. That's just not the case on this one that I'm seeing. Like these tails right here, let you know when it's attached to it. I am not sure what this is though, so it is a little concerning. But according to the board view that I have on here, it doesn't go anywhere. So a lot of these do look like they're attached, but then there are certain ones like this one that doesn't look like it's attached to anything around it. These ones are attached, this is attached, it's attached. This one goes that way. This is an enclosed circle. Otherwise it'd have an opening like that, an opening. It wouldn't be a close. I'm just trying to convince myself that that's not needed. I see on the board view that it's not needed, but I want to make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fine. According to my board view software, that's a not connected pad. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace this. So if you ever watch me for iPhone videos, I'm a whole lot more sure of what I'm doing. These GPUs are really not something I'm an expert on, and I get a little confused with them sometimes. make sure the pads are okay still. I saw the chip moving just a tiny bit, so that usually indicates that it's properly attached. So one more time. Let's see if this is working now. Okay, I have the card put together again. And I always have like pretty good hopes for these videos that I make. And my GPU videos has always come out less than graceful. So I apologize for the struggles. But hopefully we are working now. Let's see if we're back in business or not. Excuse me one moment. Okay, yeah, let's see if we're working. No artifacts. Thank goodness. Let's make sure we're up and running. Looks good so far. If it does work, what I think happened was that the initial VRAM module I did fix was probably bad. But I think when I was putting the card back together, or possibly when I was taking it apart, or at some point, it looked like the B1 module had gotten like a little bit of a chip in it. And I think that's what killed it, because it looks like it's working now. Yeah, we're good. This device is working properly. So again, I apologize that this was a little bit less than graceful. I'm a little bit unsure with GPUs, but you know, with enough effort and you know, if I keep sticking to it, I can usually get them fixed. I guess I was able to use the mod software after all to kind of point me in the direction of the bad module. I was a little bit unsure of the results when I first looked at it. I was a little bit unsure of how to get it working at all, but I did stumble through it and I was able to get it working. After a while, a friend of mine messaged me back and he kind of confirmed that first you know, the A0 module that I had replaced at first in the video was in fact showing bad because of the bad bits I was getting. I was getting bad bits from A1 to A15. Once I replaced that though, still wasn't working. I ran the software again, and I was able to see that I was getting bad bits on like B40 to 47, which indicates a bad B1 module, and replacing that the second time, I got a working card. So thanks for watching. Sorry I kind of stumbled through this one, but hope you enjoyed it. Bye.